So we've spoken a fair bit about this concept of relational currency that we can build up with our youth. And today I want to talk about one of the best ways that I've seen relational currency be built up with our youth. And for me, one of the ways that I've seen that happen really well is in catching up with our youth outside of surge time. It's amazing what it does in terms of speaking life and worth into our young people when we spend time with them, when we're not on duty or when we don't have to. Now, there's lots of different ways that we can do this. Often we're really busy and we sort of feel guilty that we can't do it. But one thing that I've found when I'm in these patches that's really helpful is to involve youth in stuff that I'm already doing. So for me, one of those things that I can do is take youth to the gym, and it's an amazing time of being real blokey together and building that great relationship in that. So ask yourself, what is it that you already do that you can involve youth in? Other things that I've found have been really, really good is going along to things that they're involved in. So going along to their concerts, going along to their sporting events, their basketball games, football games, their shows and that sort of thing. I found that speaks so much worth about you actually wanting to spend time with them and be interested in what they're interested in. Another piece of advice that I've found to be really helpful is the whole idea that, generally speaking, girls catch up better face to face, whereas guys catch up better shoulder to shoulder. So when you come to building a relationship with girls, it works really well sitting over with a coffee in front of you, or some lunch or dinner in front of you, that sort of a thing. Works really, really well for building that great relationship. Whereas for guys, that just won't work as well. For guys, you're much better doing something together. So driving somewhere together, playing sport together. For me, some of my best catch-ups with young people, with young guys, have been, like I said before, at the gym or playing basketball or driving somewhere. That sort of stuff is when you build the best relationships. So for this, I work with my strengths. So generally I find I go to dark zone or time zone, I go and play sport with them or something like that to hang out with them. And one thing, especially for junior high guys, one thing that I've found as well is taking them in small groups. Hanging out in small groups really helps too. Just taking that in groups of 2 or 3, it really helps to bridge that awkwardness while still harbouring that close, tight feel. So you wouldn't want to go any bigger than 3 if you're going for this sort of a catch-up, but keeping it small but having more than one often really, really helps. And from here, one of the game changers for me has been I've started to include the Bible in every single catch-up that I do pretty much. Where we'll go and do something fun, we'll spend some time as guys, we're doing something just not all that productive but fun, and then from there we go and open up the Word of God. And I've found it's kind of really funny that I don't really know why, but once you spend time with them outside of surge time, they're so open to going through the Word of God. So we'll go to time zone and then we'll open up the Word of God. We'll go to dark zone, or we'll go and play basketball, and then we'll open up the Word of God. And I've found that in that, they're not only more open to the idea of opening it up, but they're also actually quite enthusiastic generally. Even some of the guys that you look at and think there's no way they'd ever like this idea.